Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk on the SAP Build Apps, the sales order list which is created using the SAP Build. So I hope you already saw my previous video on the configuration of the SAP Build Apps. If not, please check on that video. This is the part 2 of that video. Now, as you know how we can drag and drop the components and create our apps. Now I'm going to talk on the sales order display app which I have created using the build apps. So first one on the top you can see this image. It's the same image I can drop inside the container. Just added some background and the image. So that's we already saw in my previous video. Now the second one. In this applications, if I go inside the data, I am using the sales order header set and also some REST APIs. This sales order header set is by the same way by adding the IS4 using the BTP destination, which we already saw in previous video. Now let's check on the APIs which we are using inside the build apps. So for the sales order list, I'm having this is the URL I have added and also the token which is added here. Then inside the get one, we are having the URL and the relative path as a query as we are going to hit the endpoint query. Also, we are passing some query here. This query we can directly pass using this API. We will get the output. It's in the format of, if you can check the schema, we will get in the format of this fields as we are having the query is already set for the table, so we will get the output in the format of fields in the table. Also in the same way few other APIs are configured. This is for the items, it's on the maybe AP table, but here query is not passed. It's a dynamic query based on selected sales order. So I will show you from where how I'm using this API. It's the API just created here but not used. Then the second one is again the partners API, but here also you will find the query as a blank, which I am using dynamically. Then the item conditions and the condition text. So same way I have created this data entries. Okay. Now I'm again going back to my build. Now UI canvas. Okay. Let's first go below and talk on the list. Then we will check this above options. Okay. So this is the list control which is added inside the container. If I go, it's a title. You can also see the tree diagram here below. It's really closed. So here we are having the tree diagram. So if I click on any component, it will just show me on how it is, which is the component, where it is fitted and how it is. I can just check all the tree format here. No scroll view and everything is there if I going to use it. This is the search bar, then this is the list item. So this is actually a list item. If you drop down here, we will have the list item. This is list item is used, and if I click on it, now I'm just doing this small tree diagram. We are having the repeat with. We are actually repeating this list item to show the complete list, and inside the repeat with I am having some code data sales orders. So data variables, inside that sales order is there. So I have created this variable inside my data variables. If you check, sales order is the variable. I'm clicking on it. It will just taking the data and it's based on the resource sales order, our first created REST API. So it's fetching the sales order from here, and then here some limitation is given to remit up to the 10 only. So that limitation is given here using the slice code. You can modify this as per your requirement, but we can show like this. Then which field we need to show it here and which field we need to show it on the right hand side. So that's handled it here, like it's showing the current VBLN and current NETWR. Current means it's always in the loop. So whatever is the current value, that will show inside this list item. Also you can configure the style for it using this, then layout for this, how the width and height and all, everything. Same way, also the search is there. If we check on the search button, I'm giving it inside the some search string. This is a page variable which I have created here. Inside the page variable you can find it search string. Also the search IS4 for the searching the another IS4 list. Now if you click on it, the same way as the input field, you can see the value as a search string. So whatever value you are going to put it here, it's going inside the search string. And now if I click on here on the list item, just scroll it below, we'll have the advanced property, and then we will have it here as a visible property. Inside the visible we have this formula contains. If this contains the page search string is there, which is our variable. So whenever our variable is inside this VBL and matches it, then only we need to show the value. So that's logic is written here so that the search will work. The similar way, the same logic is for the IS4. Only the difference here is if I click on it and check on the repeat width, it will have a different data source. It's coming from the IS4 data from SAP BTP destination. That's the only difference between these two. Now this is the table. It's actually the table which is created using the rows. It's actually the rows. If I click on it, you will find the container. Inside the container there is a row number 3 and then there is a cell. So this is how the row is created. It's looking in the table format, but it's not actually the table. If I click on the another text and check, then it will have the another row number 2 and cell number this. And if I click on the row number 2, it will have another again the container 7, then scroll to. So you will find all this information inside the tree. Here what happens? We don't have any particular uh, table here. So this row is going to be repeated. If I click here on the row, then you will find here this repeat with, and here I have added the sales orders. So whatever items inside the sales order, this row is going to be repeat. Also header is hard coded, which is added. Then for the IS4, again there is only the same difference. If I go inside the row and check on the repeat with, it is repeating with the sales order header set, the another data set. Now click on this pages. We are having this different type of pages. The first BTP authentication, which we already know, then this sales order which we just saw. When we click on any item on the sales order, it should open the sales order header, it should open the sales order information. So this is the second page which is configured. If I go above, it is showing the headers information, then the item information, then again the partner information. Now as I told you already, the all others APIs, the data entities which we created using the REST API have the query as a dynamic parameter. So which is handled here. Whenever I click on the variable, it will show me the variables which are available on that particular page only. So I'm clicking on the data variables. Here we are having two data variables, sales order items 1 and sales order partner 1.
If I click on the item 1, it is using the sales order items API and then passing it the query value here. Here the query value is passed using a formula and it's added the sales order number also from the parameters. So whatever the items which we can able to see on this page is for that particular selected sales order only. The same way the partner, we are also having the query which is dynamically created. Now if I click on the view, we are also having the back button here where icon is back and it's actually a navigation. If I click on the logic, it will navigate to the back. So this is just a drag and drop added. You will have this navigation back property. You can use and drag and drop. Whenever anyone click on it, it will just navigate back. It's that much easy. The same way the fields are added here. It's sent from the parameter. So it's having the SO number, then SO type. These all are the variables. You can see it here inside the page parameters. SO type, then SO number, then all other using the field names only. Like if I click on the created on, it's having format because the date which is not stored in the correct format inside our ELSA or SAP, we can where which can use a format like DDMMYYY. Then created by is having the ER name, then VKORG. That type, these are all the variables which are created inside this variables as a page variable. Then the same way list item is used. It's same way you're using the repeat with and passing the same values here. The similar way the below we will have the partners information, and for the partner we are having the another API. Now on the top information we can show inside the tabular format also, the tabs format. Here we can add a control like a SOP tabs, and also we are having a container here, and I think we are having some logic here for to view the values and all. It's on the container view, maybe condition renderer. So it's having the conditions active render. It's based on the active tab, which tab should be active. Based on it, it will load which tab should be shown. Like we are having the two tabs. The first one is the items and second one is the partners. So which tab is active? This active tab is again a variable which is created, and based on this active tab, if active tab is equal to, if you check the value, it is items. So based on it, it is preview value is item. So first one is the item always going to be shown, but if it is changed based on this one, here you can check the custom list two items like item and the partner. So these are the two different values we are having inside this tab format. Then tab id is active tab, then whatever is the tab id, based on it I'm showing the below container. So the again the list item and all everything logic is same. It's just a container which we are changing. Now the same way, once we click on any item, we are having some logic. It will open the next page for the item details. So let's go to the item details page. This is the item detail page where you can find like all the information about the items. The same way it is added to the variables, and the below one we are having some tax information quantity that's also added by using some data formulas and concatenation and all. And the another table which is the condition table, for this also we are having the another different API, which that logic also you can find in the variable, then data variable you will find it as a conditions, and here is a different condition query which is passed. Again some different query for the tax purpose which is passed like this. which face the tax data. So that way we will handle the queries. And if we check, this is the data table, this is another component, and data table is configured using this configuration, and it's having directly the field values here. So that way we can add it here, the field values. In this complete application, I haven't used any code or not a JavaScript also, but we are having here options to add some JavaScript, some manipulate some variables, manipulate some value. So we can add it different JavaScript here, then target event, receive event. Also, if we are doing this app for creating this app for particular device, then we can also add these functions like take a photo and all. If we want to scan some barcode, we are having like scan QR or the barcode. So these are all the functions which are available. Also, we are having the marketplace to search for the different types of flow functions. But for this particular applications, I haven't used any coding, so it's completely a no code application. If I click on this launch and preview, I can able to see the values. Most probably my token may got expired, so it will not show the values, but it will look like this. Also, it will open the table it here. So as you can see, the BTP destination is connected, so it is showing me the data for the BTP destination. Also, we can see the S4 data for the BTP purpose. So this is how it will look like. Okay, so let's check the preview of this application in the next video. Thanks.